I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. 'Tis I, Mike Martins. No, this is not an episode of Mike in the Night. Just doing a little quick video here for you guys. And don't forget to like and subscribe. So what's going on? Well, a lot is going on, and it's coming. Before you click this off, you might want to watch this wherever you are in any English-speaking country that you are in, where you supposedly have the freedom of speech, the freedom of assembly, the freedom of the press. You're going to want to watch this. All right, so what's going on? Well, let's kick it off right here. Episode 500 of Mike in the Night. Why am I plugging myself? Well, because it's actually viable to what we're going to be talking about. Here we are, People's Voice. We are on episode 500 of Mike in the Night. We've been doing Mike in the Night since 2016 and getting calls in from across the Commonwealth, connecting the dots across the Commonwealth. You probably heard that on other channels. But we've been doing that with boots on the ground all over the Commonwealth. Episode 500. So what's the... So what, Mike? Who cares? Well, I am reading alt news right here. ABC News refuses to air RFK Jr.'s comments about the COVID-19 jabs. So we've been, going through the alt news, getting in callers, discussing all kinds of stuff on the show, and kind of taking in people from all over the Commonwealth that have something to say. And let me see if I can catch it. There we go. We got Dano there. We got all kinds of people calling into the show and giving us their updates. So well, here it is. Don't forget to follow us on Rumble, and don't forget to tune into Mike in the Night episode 500, where our system was under attack, and we got shut down twice, but we still persevered and completed the show. So here it is, guys. Ireland passes law making it illegal to read non-mainstream news sources. You can't make this stuff up. Lawmakers in Ireland have passed a new law that will make it illegal for citizens to view or share any non-mainstream media content on their phones and computer devices. Yes, really. So there it is. The new legislation means that anything viewed online that has been deemed as hateful by fact checkers. Now, we did a lot of whole videos back in 2017 and 2018 debunking fact checkers on the channel, will result in prison time for those who have viewed or shared it. And we were calling them NPCs, non-player contacts. They're kind of like robots to shut people down. I've been saying that for years. Connecting the dots across the Commonwealth with boots on the ground. All right, so here it is. There's the law right there. Even Elon Musk weighed in on this fascist legislation. There it is right there. And there's the bill right there. So if you go to 10.1a, prepares or possesses material that is likely to incite violence or hatred against a person or a group of persons on account of their protected characteristics or any of those characteristics. Sorry, I don't really read like this very often, but the person shall be presumed until the contrary is proved to have been in possession of the material in contravention of subsection. So why can't I read this? Because it's full of holes. It's so transparent. It makes no sense. It makes sense to them because they could twist this and move it around and make it say what they want to make it say. And that's why they have these loophole type words. So in their favor, right? Just like they put up the statute of limitations for criminal politicians to get away with crimes they committed back in the day, right? And there it is right there. Ireland set to pass hate speech laws will make possessing hateful content on your devices a jailable offense. Elon Musk weighs in. Lawmakers in Ireland passed a legislation that will make it a crime to possess hateful content on your phone and computer devices, which can result in prison time. The legislation passed the Irish. So there it is right there. And I kind of wanted to share this and bring this up because we've been very, very, very vocal since 2016, bringing up alt news, alt perspectives, and more importantly, bringing in your calls from Ireland, from Australia, New Zealand, from America, from all kinds of places, Canada, and kind of we're tying it in together, again, connecting the dots across the Commonwealth. So look at this other law that Ireland's pushing here. Government publishes new climate law which commits Ireland to net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Is that even humanly? I think Canada's in a negative carbon position itself, but I'm not a forester. I don't know anything about trees or in forestry or anything, but I believe if there's no carbon dioxide, monoxide, and all the gases, I think the trees will hollow out. by 2050, 2060. You'll see a lot of hollowed out and dying trees because they're not getting their oxygen. In return, we give them their... Yeah. So anyways, I'm not a forester. Maybe you could comment below and tell me what's going to happen. But I think trees will hollow out. And I'm going to probably have to go back to this video in 5 years and say where I said it. So there it is right there. Now, what we've been saying about Ireland, this is very interesting. Connect the dots, folks. Ireland is dying 6 months ago. CPP are pushing out locals in Ireland. 9,846 homeless people in Ireland. Mass exodus. Ireland, massive housing crisis, food prices and rentals. Oh, by the way, this was 4 years ago. And then Ireland, massive housing crisis, rentals, energy bills, massive brain drain 3 years ago. Mass exodus of Ireland youth. Ireland housing takeover, pushing talent out 4 years ago. So we've been really vocal about what has been happening in Ireland. CPP investors forcing Irish middle class into homelessness. Ireland housing depression 4 years ago. So before, you know, the whole pandemic, we were very vocal on what was happening, and we wanted to I want to dedicate the channel to show people that a lot of this stuff was happening pre-pandemic. It was already, people were using huge lineups at food banks, huge lineups at people at bidding wars trying to bid up a rental property. It's severely getting out of hand, and we know why it's happening. And let's move on to here. Now, we are shadow banned in Canada. We've always been shadow banned in Canada. You want to see proof? For a person like myself, with 4,700 videos, and they've removed already 1,600 of them. 4,700 videos right now on record. You can go check the channel on YouTube. And I barely got by. Why did I get by, and why did I get over 30 or 20 or 30,000 subscribers? Well, watch this, guys. 9 months ago, I wish I could get the exact date, they want to silence us Canada to go dark, Bill C-11. So Bill C-11 is like what Ireland's passing, kind of like, you know, shutting down people that are reading or you know, misinformation and basically shutting down broadcasters. You know, the whole, it's kind of all in the same mix, right? So 9 months ago, watch this, 111,000 views when the internet in Canada goes down. The internet was down, and 111,000 people viewed that within 3 days when the internet was down. So you would think you would get more views, Mike, if the internet's up across the country, but the internet was down. Now watch this. Watch this. 3 days after the internet gets back up, I'm silenced again. Now that Roger's internet is back up, I'm shadow banned again, Bill C-11. So there it is. So 3 days. So the internet goes down, I get all those views. And then the internet goes back down. Look, I can barely get 1,000 views on a video. You can't make this stuff up. It's so they've been shadow banning. Let me know in the comments if you think that Canadian content creators have been shadow banned. So you go to the channel here. Let's go to the channel, and I'll show you guys. Like I really want to prove this to you guys.
I bid you all.
Because I really feel there it is right there. 4,700 videos. And what we've been talking about, the problem, what we've been talking about is nobody watched all the videos, like, you know, money laundering, this, all the stuff happening, and all this criminal activities, all the videos we've been talking about, food shortages, prepping, stacked gold and silver, and, here, we'll just type in, housing debt, right? Housing debt. And we've been warning, look, the dark side of the housing boom. Vancouver's household debt is a whopping 86% 4 years ago. The housing boom won 6 years ago. You know, Canada versus Australia, housing debt load out of control. You know, Canadian household debt is growing, using homes as ATM machines and using debit to buy food 3 years ago. We did it for all over the world. Look, Australians, don't borrow your way out of a recession. We've been... housing crisis. Let's get more Canadians in debt 4 years ago. Canadian government to impoverish Canadian families via housing affordability, debt on the rise 5 years ago. So we've been very, very, very... That's just housing debt. Let's talk inflation. Let's get something from a long time ago. Oh, wages not keeping up with inflation, housing out of reach, a working poor society in the West 8 years ago. Canadians in trouble as central banks aggressively moving up lending rates to fight inflation. Let's see. Wait. Double-digit inflation on the way. Rates stay the same. Brace yourselves. Buy and stock food 5 years ago. Hyperinflation ahead. Money to lose 98% of value. Wages are not keeping up with inflation 5 years ago. So we've been very vocal with thousands of videos. But unfortunately, in our call-in talk show of Mike in the Night, let's see what hasn't been taken down. We are moving everything to our website, folks. We are moving everything to the website, guys, so that you guys, so we could back it up. Let's see what comes up for Mike in the Night. So we've been doing Mike in the Night for years. If you guys want to watch Mike in the Night, you got to go over to Rumble because it's uncensored. We've been kicked off of YouTube multiple. Yeah, there's not much. They're taking them. There's one from up to what? Is there anything? A year ago, 4 months ago, 2 months ago, 9 months? Is there? Oh, 3 years ago. Here we go. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. 4 years ago. So we've been doing this for a long while now, and getting in your callers. Getting in callers from all over the Commonwealth. Here we go, 5 years ago. Mike in the Night, women regret not getting married. MGTOW, men going their own way. 5 years ago, we did a MGTOW show. We did all kinds. Mike in the Night, Hong Kong and Argentina protests. This was a big one because that's why they had to shut us down by pulling the trigger on the you-know-what. So there it is, folks. Guys, don't forget to go to realmikemartins.com. And you could catch the episodes of Mike in the Night on here. I'm moving them all over here so you guys could see them going back to 2016. And I'm working really hard on this. So we have you could add me on Skype right here if you want to call in to Mike in the Night for episode 501. There it is right there. So you go to archives here and you could find all. I'm working so hard to get this over there for you guys and doing, everything I can. I don't know, so tirelessly working. Like this one's a pretty good one. Conservative families labeled as terrorists. Conservative views now considered racist. War against Catholics in 2018. And we've been very vocal about wokeness, taking down statues, erasing history for a safer future. Old white guy, QAnon is growing, Bitcoin flat. And that was 2018. And let's see if we got older stuff here. I'm trying to get on the old hard drives, guys. The old hard drives. So we could get all these episodes, so you guys could see the history or the build-up to where we are today. Erasing history for a better future, economic perfect storm. When was this? October 31st, 2017. So, mass government misinformation via climate change and climate lockdowns ahead. So we were already in 2017. We already knew that things weren't going right. We knew the banking system was falling apart. We knew nobody trusted or believes in the repo markets were out of hand and people were taking on too much debt. And a lot of people would just turn around and blame the governments, right? And the governments were creating all these public sector jobs for the government jobs to make these people happy so they could continue affording a basic lifestyle. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for joining, liking, subscribing, and watching and being part of the channel. And if you're in Canada, if you don't mind sharing this video and let other Canadians know that, hey, there's people out there for years now, years that are pre-COVID. A lot of pre-COVID channels out there warning people about this calm before this big storm that we're going to be in. Anyways, guys, Mike Martins here. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. I have spoken.